Star Wars is filled with many iconic rivalries, including Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda and Count Dooku, and Senator Amidala and Viceroy Gunray. However, none of these rivalries even compare with the rivalry between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The whole rivalry started off in The Phantom Menace, when Kenobi chops off Maul's legs and sent him plummeting thousands of feet in the Battle of Naboo. Kenobi thought he had killed him, but no, Maul had survived, living off the pure hatred he had for Kenobi. Maul finally re-submerged back into society in the middle of the Clone Wars, where him and Kenobi had countless battles, neither being victorious. After Order 66, Kenobi went into exile, which left their rivalry dormant for several years. This rivalry was then reawoken when Maul found Kenobi on Tatooine at the end of Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. Here, they would have one final showdown. In the normal Star Wars timeline, Kenobi comes out on top. However, today we are going to dive into an alternate timeline where Maul comes out victorious. Our story begins on Tatooine, where Maul has just killed his arch enemy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in an epic final showdown. Maul dropped onto his knees in utter disbelief. He couldn't believe it. He'd finally killed the one person he hated above all others. Maul had spent years obsessing over seeking revenge on the man that took everything from him. He didn't just take away his legs, he took away his sanity, and his part in Sidious's master plan. Because of Kenobi, he was left to rot for years in a junkyard, unwanted and in great pain. The only thing that kept him alive was the hatred he had for Kenobi. But now, he had finally killed him. He had finally had revenge. All of a sudden, Maul felt so empty. He had dedicated most of his life just fixating on how to kill Kenobi. It was what kept him going all these years. So now Maul wondered, what were his new goals? And what was his purpose? Or had he already served his purpose, and now he was just going to rot and waste away? Whilst Maul was in a daze, he had completely forgotten that Ezra Bridger was also there, as Ezra had travelled to Tatooine to warn Kenobi about Maul. Ezra was exhausted from his trek through the desolate plains of Tatooine, but he still managed to clamber to his feet. Maul still sat there, trying to work out what to do next and where to go. He could always try to train Ezra as an apprentice, he remembered, and rule the galaxy together. He had found his new purpose, but suddenly, Maul froze. Ezra's emerald green lightsaber sticking out from his chest. Maul gave a faint smile. He knew now that he had fulfilled his destiny, and would be able to rest in peace. Ezra drew back his lightsaber, making Maul tumble to the floor, lifeless. Ezra breathed a sigh of relief. Maul had been terrorizing him and his rebel friends throughout the years, and although he felt remorse for not being able to save Obi-Wan, he still felt a sense of relief that Maul was now dead, once and for all. Ezra then leaves the Tatooine and heads back to the rebel base, just as he does in the normal timeline. Ezra's story from here on is the same as the normal timeline. However, Obi-Wan's death does have a huge impact on Luke's life. Luke would be killed by the Sand People at the start of A New Hope, as Obi-Wan would no longer be there to save him. This would have drastic effects on the timeline, as Luke would not team up with Han Solo and Chewbacca. This would mean that Han and Chewie would continue being smugglers. Without Luke, Han, Chewie and Kenobi, Leia wouldn't have been saved, and therefore would have been executed. And most importantly, the Death Star wouldn't have been destroyed without the heroics of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Therefore bringing an end to the Rebel Alliance, and the Empire would have even more control over the galaxy. This would mean that the Empire would reign over the galaxy for much longer than the original timeline, as the rebels wouldn't be there to stop them anymore, striking fear into the lives of the innocent. Furthermore, Darth Vader's powers will be greater than the original timeline, and won't have the pull to the light, due to the fact that Luke is dead, so that he doesn't have the internal conflict he did in the original timeline, meaning that he completely embraces the dark side, removing all light left within him. Well, for now at least. This consequently means that he learns to use more advanced Sith powers like Force lightning. Elsewhere, Ahsoka Tano has, after being pulled out of the world between worlds, scours the galaxy in search of any remaining Jedi. For the sake of the story, we'll just say that she found Yoda and Ezra. However, this would have been unlikely because of the system that Yoda was on. Dagobah was very remote because Yoda effectively went there to die because he felt that he failed Jedi Order. But for the sake of the story, let's just say that she found Yoda and she also found Ezra. And if you're wondering why Yoda's still alive when he would be dead in the normal timeline, this is because he would not be able to rest knowing that all hope in the galaxy was lost. So he would use his inner strength to keep on fighting. Yoda, Ahsoka and Ezra would rally together, different species that were unhappy with the Imperial occupation, and gradually, over time, build their forces to take on the Empire. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there for today. And if you guys want to see a part 2, then let's get this video to 30 likes and then I'll make you guys a part 2 so you find out what happens in this unbelievable alternate timeline. And do remember, if you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel and may the Force be with you.